Do you feel you're safe?
I feel safe in my hostel campus, but the moment I step out, for example, I have to go out on weekends, it's very difficult to travel by public transports like autos or buses, and especially if you're late coming back in the evening, it's a nightmare because the auto people know that you are there or your only chance and they take full advantage of it. They will ask you sky high prices, and if you refuse, they won't let you travel easily. They harass you as much as they can. And boys, especially walking in crowded market areas, they think you're their public property and they're just allowed to touch you, and you can't do because it's embarrassing for us to make it look like we're the victims of something. So yes, I don't feel particularly safe when I'm in crowded, thronging public areas or when I have to take public transport systems. Otherwise, the campus is good, but outside it's not very nice.
Well, I think to an extent I feel safe because of the facilities that are provided to me by my family. But as you see, there's an increasing crime rate in the country, not only in Delhi but also in other parts of the country. So, not actually, I don't feel safe that much. You have to take protection.
Yes, absolutely not. Not in the, neither even in the broad daylight, nor at night, nor at any point of time. Not in Delhi, no way. And my parents know that, and the curfews that are imposed upon me just to keep me safe. It is absolutely absurd. I do not feel safe at any point of time, not even in the university that I'm studying at. So I think the government needs to take note of that and stop coming up with stupid excuses to satiate what we are saying or to satiate their excuses. It's just not the laws that they're coming up with. And what about this whole female busing that stopped at 5:30? I mean, absurdity at its absolute height. Women do not feel safe in Delhi.
Yes, I feel absolutely safe. Currently, I feel safe.
Okay. And what do you do?
3.
What do you do to feel safe?
Try not to go out after like 7 or 8 in the night. And if I go out with really trusted people. Otherwise, I won't.
I never travel alone. I avoid traveling alone. I go in groups and I make sure there are some friends of us, some guys, who can, distract these unwanted attention people. And no, I don't carry anything because then that's again a problem because the metro is against it. You cannot carry a knife, you cannot carry any heavy items. And pepper spray is only this much. You cannot think that fast when something is actually happening with you. So no matter what you carry, it's always a problem.
I believe it's because I have my own vehicle. So for my transportation, for my convenience, I have my own vehicle. It's loaded with a lot of stuff such as pepper spray. So I keep myself safe like that. Because most of the times that I'm here, I'm usually in college. Or I go home, so I'm safe, so home safety measures basically.
What do you think should be punishment for crimes against women?
Crime against women, you see the basic, even as per the research that was conducted, the basic mindset of a wrongdoer, of these habitual offenders, the sexual offenders, is that they get away with these crimes. They have this thing in their head that we will get away with these crimes, maximum kya hoga, a few years of imprisonment, but we'll be out of here. So that is what has to be done. Okay, implementation of the laws and execution of the punishment. Death sentences are mandatory. Fine, the rapist of rare case, I understand the whole sensitivity of the issue, but implementation, even if death sentence has been awarded, uske against appeal file hoga and uske liye, I don't know, the fast tracking of the cases. It has to be sorted out as soon as possible, not that it will stretch on to the very lifetime of the person who committed the crime, so mar jayega, uske baad bolenge life sentence. No, this is not done with fast tracking of the cases, implementation of punishments and severe punishments, not just some 2 years or 3 years. Life sentence means life sentence, not letting them go up to 30 years.
It is subjective because crime against women could be varied, could be different in a lot of ways. Such as defeasing should be stopped there and there. There should be taught a lesson when it is with respect to defeasing. Such as if somebody defeases you on the way, I believe you should stop the person and say it could happen to their hostage also tomorrow. Or you should take very, very strong steps such as slap the person right there and see how it happens. Or you talk to him in a manner which gives him an indication that okay, what he's doing is wrong and it is not being unnoticed. It's mostly because women don't take a step that men have the audacity to do it again. Also, for example, if the rape, then there should be very, very strong punishments. Then it is mandatory that government takes a very fast action. That's all.
What about domestic?
Yes, domestic violence should woman should not accept. Okay, one should raise a voice again. Acceptance of that. Because a lot of women actually accept domestic violence because they want to stay with the husband. That's not the right thing. you have to stay with equal respect to them.
Because family problems also. Family says to go and stay with your husband.
Yes. I believe our country women should be very, very independent. Independence is that. But independence is not a medium to run away from the so-called societal conflicts such as marriage. You know, you're independent, so I don't feel the need to marry. That's illogical.
Fast track courts. As soon as the crime happens, we must bring them to the fast track court, and as it is said that justice delayed is justice denied. So I believe that the punishment should be immediate, and the best way is fast track courts.
Okay. Like rape, then it should be death. I don't think there should be anything like a jail sentence or something like that. And if there's something like domestic violence against women, then I think a proper 10 to 15 years jail should be there for the person who's committed.
To deter people or elements like this, it has to be out there that it is not acceptable or tolerable at all. There should be not like you've got a day in prison and then you're bailed out. Right? It should be if you've done something to offend someone's integrity, or if you've done something to offend someone's, you've embarrassed someone in front of the whole public, you should be humiliated as much. Your punishment should be directly proportional to the crime you've done.
Do you think Candle March helps?
Yes, in terms of mass as a collective, and the march help is definitely there. We see how many people are aware and vigilant. But people who are there because they want to be seen on camera, or because they want to be just add to the masses, that's not it.
I personally think that they help in awareness of the masses, but they can only help you so much. You know, the extent is very limited. People do it. Yeah, I think it's nice that people participate, but the victim is a victim. People go out in candle marches, but there are again girls who are being offended every day, every hour on a daily basis. So candle marches, I won't say are completely useless. They let other people know, they sensitize the masses. But then I guess it's not the answer for everything that happens in this country. You have to stand up and take charge for yourself.
I think the basic motive of the candle march is you don't have to support a person just by lighting a candle against the photo of the person. You also have to get that feeling from inside. Suppose there was this rape case in Delhi which happened in December 16th. So सब लोग ने like candle march करके protest तो किया, but the actual feeling has to come from inside. So to an extent it helps, because जो country का जो government है, जो regulation है सारी, उसको थोड़ा सा aware करने के लिए it helps to an extent.
Not very much. The best thing that is beneficial is a girl should be self-defensible.
Which is basically a way of expressing basically expressing our solidarity with the person who suffered the plight or suffered the particular offense. They help in bringing to basically unification of some spirit of sorts, and basically bringing to light our problems, our suffrage, and that everyone's hearing it. But as such, it's just a matter of few days, and then they cool down. For example, the Nirbhaya incident happened. The very next day we had a candle march. How many days did that last? A few days, and again rapes. Candle marches do not prevent rapes as such. They do not prevent the wrongdoers from doing what they're doing. It's just an expression of solidarity. It's an expression of our spirit, and that we will keep fighting. But as such, they do not help. That's it.